This content is brought to you by Scoutz, the strongest Salesforce hub in the Nordics and Poland, bringing tech solutions to Danish banks.
Hi everyone, nice to see you all. There's plenty of people very far away there, which is very nice. It's been some time for me to be on the stage, so it's nice to feel this energy once again. But I should start with my name. You already know it. I got introduced, but I will do it myself. My name is Maciej Zadworny. I'm a development manager in Scoutz, and Scoutz is a part of BC Financial Technologies, and this is a part that mainly focuses on Salesforce. And that's why we are here. That's why we are a sponsor of this conference. And when I was thinking about, coming on the stage, presenting for you, I was thinking, what is my goal here, really, right? So I have two. One is to welcome you all as, a member of the sponsor. And I wanted to say that I'm really glad that both BC and Scoutz have this ability to sponsor things like this. And I have a place like this for us to meet together, learn together, share knowledge, because I think it's a very Danish thing to do, build a community and do it just for you to grow, right? But there's also a second goal, and let's be honest, I'm here to shamelessly promote Scoutz. That's my main goal. But I wanted to do it in a little bit of a different way and not talk like boring stuff about who we are and what do we do, because some of my colleagues already have done this and you can go to YouTube and watch it. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a glimpse into some cultural differences that, are different between Denmark and Danish company and Polish companies and Polish culture, and I'm Polish myself, so I think I know what I'm talking about. But I thought I will do a very short introduction of myself first, because I think it's reasonable to convince you why am I talking about cultural differences and why maybe you can trust me, because I think I have a lot of experience around those topics. First of all, I used to live abroad, 3 years, more or less. I lived in England, I did my bachelor's degree there, so yeah, that was an experience. I worked in many different industries. I worked in advertising, education, manufacturing, smaller companies, smaller corporations like BEC, and those that actually span the whole world. I worked with American people, British, French, Danes, Polish, many more. And above all, I was just counting recently, it's already 10 years, which is crazy to me. For 10 years now, I've been also a trainer, and I teach at the university, I teach business, I teach individual people, and I think definitely I had more than 1,000 people in my classrooms. So I've seen people from around the world, different cultures, different nationalities, different ways of working. So I think I have a good experience, and to say what are the cultural differences between us all and cultures like Danish and Polish. But in the style of the forward-looking statement from Salesforce, I decided to do personal perspective disclaimer, just to say, please take all of this with a grain of salt. I'll be using some stereotypes, obviously, and I don't want to, make any Polish person in the crowd offended. That's not my point. But I'm trying to make a point, so this will be a little bit based on stereotypes. But I also try to look into some research and some data that actually supports my point. So it's not only my thoughts, really. But you already know the topic of this session. But just a brief introduction, I wanted to focus on one thing today when it comes to culture and cultural differences, which is trust, and how we look at trust differently in Poland and how different it is in Denmark, right? And there are different approaches, so that's why the subtitle is Use It or Abuse It. And we can approach it from different perspectives, and I think it's much different where you're coming from. But before I do that, before we explore those differences, I think we need to establish what is trust, because all of you might have different perspectives on this, right? So there's this guy, now the fantastic animation, yeah, Charles Green is his name. He wrote a book called The Trusted Advisor 25 years ago. And in that book, he coined this formula for trustworthiness, or trust, you can say. And he says that trustworthiness is made up of 4 elements. One is credibility, so people trust in what you're saying. They trust that you're telling the truth. Then there's reliability, so people trust that you will do what you said you will do, that you will deliver quality. Then there's intimacy, so people trust that if they tell you a secret, it will stay a secret, right? And then all of this is divided by self-orientation. So it's about whether you are mainly focused on yourself or people around you. So the more you're focused on yourself, the less trustworthy you are, right? And in the business context, or in our Scoutz context, I was looking at this formula and thinking, well, those two obviously make responsibility. I promise, I say I will do something, and I actually deliver, and I deliver with quality. And by the way, responsibility is #1 value that we look into in Scoutz. We talk about it a lot. But the challenge that we have, both in Scoutz and in BC, is that, especially here in the Polish office, when we do interviews, we do recruitment, it's always very difficult for us to explain how different is this Danish culture to what we know in Poland. I talk to my Danish colleagues and they say, well, we don't see that. It's very normal for us. Obviously, they don't see the difference. They are from that culture, right? So I was thinking, there must be some cool data that shows this difference. And I found some, just to show you. Denmark is the most trusting country in the world, apparently. There is a research where they ask people, do you agree with a statement, most people can be trusted? 74% of Danes agree with that statement. And just to ask you, what do you think, how many Polish people agree with that statement? Any guesses? 40, 20, 25. Ooh, that's very pessimistic. But actually, it's 24%. 24 compared to 74% of Danes, which to me is a crazy difference. Then the second interesting tidbit is that Danes are least fond of hierarchy at the same time. They are #1 in willingness to delegate authority, which I think obviously goes hand in hand with the #1 statement, right? They trust each other, so it's okay for me to give some responsibility to someone else. I trust you, you will deliver. I don't have to worry, I don't have to check. And then the third element I wanted to show you is a picture, because one picture is 1,000 words, apparently. This is a picture from some kind of a cafe somewhere in Denmark, and you can see some strollers sitting in front. And weirdly enough, there could be some babies inside. Because when you talk to Danes, they will say, yeah, very normal thing. It's very healthy for the baby to stay outside, breathe in the fresh air. But I'm now thinking what you guys, Polish people here, think. What was your first initial thought, right? It was, oh my God, someone's gonna steal my stroller or someone's gonna steal my baby, right? This is the initial thought we have in Poland. Yeah, but how does it all, translate to the workplace? So how we behave, or how Danes behave in the workplace. And I found this, I think, very nice 4 sentences summary from University of Aalborg. And Aalborg is a town in north of Denmark, and shout out to Scoutz, we have an office there. So if you join us in the future, you can fly to Aalborg and see how lovely it is. But University of Aalborg summarized that Danish workplace is: Danish companies often have a flat hierarchy and many decisions are made by the employees. Managers usually act more like coaches than instructors. The manager trusts that everyone is doing their jobs. They might act like a friend in a relaxed atmosphere, but you're responsible to do your tasks and meet the deadlines. Very nice summary. How does it compare to Poland, though? So I should start with some nice words about Poland and Polish people. So just to use some words from my Danish colleagues, they definitely really appreciate us as experts. Most of us are really, focused on getting next competencies, deliver, be focused on the goal. We are sometimes frustrated with how much time Danes take to make a decision. We want to act. But I think there is a problem when we interact with each other. Sometimes I feel we are very quick to, go into this 1600s ways of working when there's a manager, like this guy from Netflix show 1670s. Some of you watched it, so I see you on your faces, where this guy thinks, I'm the manager now, so I know best. I'm the only one who can make a good decision. And it goes to the extent, some of you maybe read those interviews with some of the top brands in Poland CEOs coming and saying, I'm the only guy in the 1,500,000 people who can make a decision, right? There were some guys like this. And on the other hand, our employees, so we have managers and employees are very, we are very quick to kind of complain about some decisions being made, right? We're like, this is bad decision. But we are not so eager to take responsibility, actually be the ones to make those decisions, right? I think this is a very common thing. And now the question is, okay, what happens if those two cultures, two approaches towards trust interact? And I think some of us in Poland think that this way of Danes of being very trustworthy is naivety. It's naive to do it like this. And it's a place for abuse. So just a stupid example. No one is really controlling me at work. When do I come to the office and when I leave? So I will only come for an hour, grab lunch and go home. But let's be honest, no one is stupid. Either Danes, Polish people are all the same around the world. So they will see that you're abusing that relationship, right? But instead we can do it the Danish way and think, maybe I can use it to my advantage. And I think the biggest difference is, that is, I think, quite rare in many Polish companies, is that Danes will trust you. You can take responsibility and you can quickly grow and develop as an individual, which I think is not that common in the Polish market, right? So I think there must be something to it. There must be something to this trust if a small country of 5 million people managed to produce so many worldwide known brands like Carlsberg, Pandora, Lego. You probably know all of them. So what's the takeaway for this session? I would, highly encourage you to think about how you act and how you talk towards each other. Make others trust you. And maybe today, when you go back to work, or maybe tomorrow, think about some extra responsibility you can take and think about actually delivering on that responsibility, because that's the only thing you guys can do. We can only have influence over our little world of decisions. So please act on it and think about your responsibility. If anything that I have said resonated with you and you think, well, this culture sounds really nice, I would like to be a part of it, please scan the QR code. There are some QR codes around this room that you can also scan. Go to our LinkedIn page and follow. And sooner or later, there will be some job openings. So if you think, well, that would be nice to be part of it, just apply, and I hope I see some of you in the near future. Thank you. That's it.
Okay.
Now it's time for Q&A session. Who would like to start the discussion? Okay, I see first person.
Now the time for difficult questions.
Oh, I'm just curious because you said that, how to put it correctly? Because, in every company and in life, there are people who are underperforming, right? This is perfectly normal.
Yes.
And when you are saying that you trust, in the Danish company, everyone trusts each other. Like, how do you deal with this? Because, I imagine that maybe it's a different aspect of this culture, that you somehow are open for the, critic, or like you bring things like openly wide in a discussion. Because in Poland, sometimes there is this feeling that if you are pointing a finger at someone who is underperforming, you're kind of like a snitch. Let's call it this way, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, how do you deal with this? Like when you have an underperforming team member and that other team members see that, like what's the approach?
Yeah, I think to answer this shortly and not to take too much time from my colleagues who are right after me, I think, we could talk about it for 2 hours because there are so many elements to this, how those cultures differ, except for trust. But I think that the biggest difference is kind of the baseline you're starting from, right? So a lot of trust that we agree, we trust each other, instead of us kind of starting from, I don't trust you, earn my trust, and that way I can kind of measure your performance. But in the end, we do it very similarly. I mean, both in the Polish company and in the Danish company like Scoutz, we kind of look at your performance in the end, right? But the baseline we are starting from, I think, is very much different. And it's also about also looking for people who are actually, fit into this culture. So it's also a big part of recruitment to have people, and it's obviously a difficult thing to do it and identify those qualities during recruitment that can join us and actually be trustworthy, right? Yeah.
Any more questions? Any more thoughts? Oh.
Thank you, Maciej, for your speech. Do you practice some interchange between cultures with the Danish and Polish? For example, C-level from a Danish comes here, or executive level goes to Danish, or in certain teams, is interconnection?
Well, I think we do it constantly, to be honest. We go to Denmark, Copenhagen, Roskilde, where there's main office of BC, Aalborg, as I said, all the time. And we have Danes coming over here. We had some very recently, all the bank's executives, our clients, came over here. They spent a couple of days. There was embassy visiting us. So I would say there's plenty of opportunity to kind of, mingle with each other, if you can call it like that. Yeah. Yeah.
You showed us a very nice statistic. I'm talking about the 74 to 24.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are on the poor level
Yeah.
here. But do you know if that changed in time, or does it change in time, or how does it look?
It definitely changes, but I'll be honest with you, I don't remember the exact numbers. Is it growing or going down for Poland and Denmark? I just looked at the most recent data point. So I'm crossing my fingers. We are, on the rise with that. But again, to kind of underline my point in this presentation, I think it's all down to us sitting here in this room. So all of us do something little to kind of build this trust around ourselves. So let's do it.
And now it's time for a special award.
Thank you. No, that's fantastic. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.